And tonight's Crisis in the Classroom report, it took the Utah legislature years to pass legislation that protects your kids from lead in their drinking water.
Crisis in the Classroom reporter Chris Jones discovered many lawmakers refused to shell out the money to pay for testing and then remediation.
At St. Olaf Catholic School,
hi, Cece.
Principal Simon McFall,
it's silent. People ignore it.
Tested all the drinking fountains in his school. Tim Davis, just one came back positive for trace overseeing a new monumental
This is something that's common sense.
The testing of every water fountain in every school sophisticated in the filtration system. 45,000 St. Olaf's drinking water so crystal clean.
DWQ has tested has an impact on their health, their well-being, their ability to focus, and, quite frankly, their success in life.
Some of the fixtures that are being sampled have significantly higher levels.
Tim Davis with the Division of Water Quality is overseeing a new monumental task, the testing of every water fountain in every school in the state. 45,000 in all. So far, DWQ has tested a third of them. Anything over 5 parts per billion needs to be shut down and replaced.
What have we found so far?
Most schools have at least one fixture that's above the action level.
Representative Steve Handy sponsored the 2022 legislation that made the testing possible.
And they are finding, even in newer schools, they are finding some significant levels of lead.
It took Handy 4 years to get this legislation passed, primarily because his fellow lawmakers were concerned about money. He says in the end, if it weren't for COVID, this legislation may have never been passed.
Our whole intent, the whole way, was protect the health of the children.
How does lead in drinking water affect people, particularly kids?
It's a neurotoxin, and in children their brains, their nervous systems are still developing. So they're especially susceptible to lead.
Thanks to about $4.5 million in COVID-related federal funds, the testing and any replacement of water fountains will be paid for.
So our water now has no traces of plastic, of copper, of any biologic, or of any lead.
For Principal McFall, it shouldn't have been so hard to make testing mandatory, because in the end, he says, it's about the kids.
My children are in this building. I want my own children, just as I want everyone else's children drinking water that I know is safe.